You are welcome to this session. I hope you can hear me loud and clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. So we start with I first want to make this before we like share anything. Uh, One thing, the reason I'm starting this at this time is that some of your colleagues have already told them about. Not I'm not talking about those regular students, okay? But I've already made known this to some of you. This course, that's Intro to Programming, is so vital to your whole program that you do. It's just like the um, web web what's the name? Web, yeah, the one you did with Dr. Kelly, okay? Intro to web, okay, web programming, yeah, that one. You see, these two are so fundamental, and also with the computer fundamentals with Mr. Vincent. These three are so fundamental to all the computer and IT courses, computer science and IT courses you do. Okay. The maths related courses are also relevant to the computer science and IT courses. Okay. So one thing I want you to know is that for this course, programming, if you don't get it right, if you don't get these principles right, actually the another title for this course is Principles of Programming. If you don't get the principles for this programming right, for example, you don't know how to declare variables. Say that when you're even declaring a variable, you don't even know the kind of data type to use. Okay. You don't know how to initialize variables. You don't know how to do your basic inputting and outputting of variables. Okay, that's you are able to you're able to identify input and output variables from a certain question and able to do the appropriate inputting and outputting of variables using the input and output command. Okay, you should be able to know how to transform an equation into programming format using the principles. Okay, you should be able to do decision statements. That's the if and else and if else if all of that. To be able to write programs, identify programs which are supposed to be repetitive or iterative programs, which we call loops. The ones that use the for and the while. And so this course is so important because it's the backbone, okay, to every programming course you do. If you don't get this course right, I'm telling you, you struggle when it comes to C++. You struggle when it comes to Python programming. You struggle when it comes to Java programming. You struggle when it comes to .NET programming 1 and 2. You struggle when it even comes to web development application because that is also programming. Okay. Apart from that, you do data structures and algorithms. You struggle because algorithms are involved. So please, I'm starting this because you see, normally it's not the official time. You're supposed to start this around, I believe, 8 or maybe that's next 2 weeks or next week. Okay, around next week, there about that's when maybe you may be starting doing registration and like lectures is about to start and those things. So if you don't become serious with what you are doing, okay, what will happen is that you have problems throughout your whole stay on campus because you'll be doing C++, Python, second year, .NET programming, um, the next academic, Java programming in the next semester of second year. You're doing .NET in third year. Are you okay? Another one in third year, second semester. You'll be doing the web application. So all of this will be the next year, the next like that throughout the whole stay. You never appreciate anything, all the other courses you do. Okay, so please, I'm begging you, take this course very serious. Okay, as we have started, please, I'll be marking attendance. I'll be marking attendance, and I'll add it to your main attendance when officially um, they have started with the we have started with the second semester. So please don't take it lightly, like as if it's no, it's like I'm just doing something. I'm not doing this for any like I'm not getting any extra pay for this. Okay. So it's not something that I'm doing to gain something or favor or try and use it to boost my CV or no. I'm just concerned. because over the years, as I've taught intro to programming or principles of programming, I've taught other programming languages, C++, Python, Java. I've realized that there's that consistency where, because we are not introduced to these, especially to principles of programming from primary, okay, from primary school, basic school, DHS and all that, because we are normally not introduced, people are finding it very difficult to think logically. They find it very difficult to actually understand some of these principles. Okay, so in the end, if the person also doesn't take it serious, it runs through. I realize it runs through. The people are not able to get the whole computer science or IT program becomes difficult and strange for the person because they didn't get the principles right. So I'm just appealing to you. Thank you very much for your time. So I'm starting with first of all with what I started of variable. That's what I'm starting with. Okay. But before that, I just want to start with the software engineering process so you understand what software engineering process is all about. So let's start with a basic question. What is programming? Anybody? What is programming? Anybody can raise up your hand and I'll call your name. You can raise up your hand. Please, can you mute yourself? Those who are new, please mute yourself. Okay. I mean, those who are new, you just came. Please mute yourself. Please, okay. Who has raised up their hand? Okay. I'm not seeing anybody raising up their hand. So nobody knows programming. You were introduced to this in fundamentals of computing or computers or computer fundamentals. Anyone? Wow. Okay, what is a program? What is a software or a program?
Yeah.
Okay, Michael, you can talk. But next time you raise up your hand so I know it's you.
I was looking for the hand button, but I couldn't find it. That's why.
Don't worry. You go on. Sorry, you go on.
Programming is the activity of converting specifications, a task into a sequence of instructions using a programming language that executes the task.
Okay, that's good. So you are changing requirements to instructions so that the computer can execute the task. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's very good. Thank you very much. Because of time and because of we are not having face to face, I don't want a situation by who next, who can give another one. No. Okay, so I'll just go straight. Now, one of the key things I want you to keep in mind when you talk about a program is the word instructions. The word instruction. Every program is instruction. Okay? Every program is instruction. So this course is guiding on how to write these instructions. To be familiar with how to write the principles on how to conjure and bring about these instructions together to write any program. Okay? So when I say a program is a set of logically coded instructions that a computer follow to perform a task. And as Michael said, which comes from a specification that somebody has made. Okay. So it's just like the instructions in your head. Okay. If as a human being, what actually makes you do what you do is the instructions in your head. That's why a madman does things which are different from what another person, normal person would do because the instructions in his head is different. Okay, so that's the main thing you understand. So when you say a software or a program, is instructions. That's in mind. A set of logically coded instructions that a computer has to follow to perform a task, or that is given to the computer to perform a task. Okay, so please keep this in mind. Thank you very much, Michael. So in with that being said, in a nutshell, what will be programming? Anybody? What will be programming? Quickly. What will be programming? Is anybody? Wow. Now, feedback is when I call you, feedback is needed so that I know that you are online. So if nobody is answering, I'll call you so that you give me feedback. If you are not giving me feedback, it means you are not online. You just came online and you went to do your own job. Okay, so I'm going to ask. I'm going to mention it. Okay, so Michael has answered, so I know he's online. Anyone before I mention him? Okay, Mr. Apia. Mr. Apia.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what is programming? What is programming?
Programming.
Yes. I'm even surprised why you guys are fumbling with this. Because you are in the house, you are not on campus face to face with me. You're in the house and you can Google it. So how come you are just not answering the question? What's programming? Okay, Eva, please, what's programming? I don't want us to waste time. What is programming? Eva.
Sorry, sir. Sir. Sir.
Yeah, please, what is programming? Can you tell us what programming is? Because you learned this in fundamentals of computers.
Not really, but it's from what you said actually. That programming is a set of logical coded instructions that the computer follows to perform a specific task.
So, and then programming will be what? If a program is a set of logically coded instructions, then programming will be what?
Programming is a process.
It's a process of what? Okay. Any other person? Okay, Mr. Christian, can you tell us something?
Sir, it involves telling a computer which task to perform in order to solve a problem.
Okay, so it involves, okay. So as Eva said, the process. Okay. So it's just simply the process, the science, or you say the art of writing a program. That's all. Okay. So that's programming. So it's a science and it's also an art. Okay. It's a science and it's also an art because the same program, how somebody will write it will be different from how somebody will write it. And the person will follow his own logic. Since the person is following his own logic that he thinks he has, that's why it becomes an art. But it's a science because they are set rules and principles on how to go about doing it. Okay. So that is programming. Okay. So with that said, quickly, I want to just bring your attention to the whole process. But I'll actually take time to go through. I don't want to waste time on this today. I want to actually do variables today. So quickly, let us go straight to that slide, which is on, that's on the software development lifecycle. or simply put, the software engineering process. Okay, so that's what we want to look at quickly. Okay, so please a minute, sharing it from my screen so that you can see. Okay. Okay. I hope you can see it now. Okay. Can you see my screen? Please, can you
Yes,
see my
I
screen?
see
Good.
yes.
So I'll be sending you the slides to the so that you'll be going through before we come to that. Okay. So okay. So I've already stated what a program is. Okay. And what programming is. I've stated it down. And okay. And remember, when you are writing a program, as I said, you follow some kind of process or a procedure. Okay. Yeah. So that's what we want to look at. We want to look at the software engineering process. And that's what we want to look at quickly. Okay. So just a minute. Oh, pardon me for this. Yeah. Okay. There it is. Okay. So we have the software engineering process, and that's what we want to look at quickly. There it is. So we have the software engineering process. Now, when we say the software engineering process, we are simply talking about the process or that. Well, see, engineering is actually you trying to make something. Okay, you trying to create something. Okay, that's why some people say God is the first engineer. So, which is true. So, it's not even an engineer; he's the creator of the engineer. So let's go on. So, software engineering describes the process involved in software development. Simply put, it's actually talking about the whole process that you go through when you want to develop any program or software. Okay, and the first one is the software specification stage. It has 4 steps. The first step is software specification stage. Now, specification is simply that it involves you getting all the requirements, okay, or all the things that you need to do, or all the things that you need the software to do. Okay. So, for example, somebody calls you and say, "I want a software for my school." Okay. I have a basic school and a GHS. So I want a software to run the school. Okay. So the first question you ask is to do what exactly? Is it to for them to be able to upload their scores, know the one who was first, the one who was second? What do you really want? Or is it finance side that you want? So you will be asking the person questions on what the software will really be doing. Please, are you okay? So when you say software specification, it's about the functionalities or we say specifications of what the software will do. So you see that here that I've put here functionalities of the software and constraints. Now, constraints are simply certain things you don't want the software to do. Please, are you okay? So, for example, if the person tells you to create a software for the school, then one of the things that you ask is, okay, so who have access to the finance to be able to maybe clear somebody that a person has paid or somebody has not paid? You understand? And that way you'll be giving constraints in terms of or control to some people and not give control to some people. So you have people who are maybe super users, some people are not super users and all that. Okay, so you have constraints in the software. Please, I hope you are clear with me. Somebody tells you to and create a program where it will divide 2 numbers. Just a simple program to divide 2 numbers. So the person will just enter 2 numbers and then it will divide them. Okay, so one of the things you do is that, okay, so it means that you ask the person, so is it any number or only integers? Or any number, whether it is decimal, that's have a decimal place or not. Okay, which kind of number are you talking about? You have to get specifications from the person. Are you okay? Good. Then maybe you ask the person, so with that, you want it to display and tell the person the answer is, or you want the person to know maybe this number divided by this number is this. Like you ask certain questions about what you want to do or the facilities for the program. And another thing to that, for that same program, one of the constraints that you yourself or the person will even tell you to do, or which you yourself, the programmer, should know, is that no number can be divided by 0, right? Please, I hope you all know that. Any number divided by 0 is what? Infinity.
Undefined.
It's undefined. Thank you. Infinity or undefined. So because of that, one of the controls that you put inside is that whenever somebody enters a number for the denominator, you see the numerator is the one at the top, the denominator is the one down. So then you then put a constraint that if anybody enters a number for the denominator, which is 0, then you should tell the person that you have entered the wrong input. So the person will enter an appropriate number. You understand? Okay, so all these are part of the control. The session will end very soon. I'll start, and it will start right after. Okay, to just end and start. So when it starts, please make sure you are joining again. Okay, after this session, we are done. This should be the last session. I mean, like the one that will start again. Okay, so we have 10 minutes more. So just end and start again. Okay, so please keep that in mind. In the software specification, you ask for the objectives. Okay, you ask for the objectives, you ask for the output and input, okay, data, and the processing. How will the processing do? So let me give an example. Somebody says, write a program where 2 numbers will be divided. Okay, like what you said. What will be the processing? The processing is division. Okay, where we'll divide, like we'll divide 2 numbers and then we'll store it somewhere. Okay. Now, what will be what's the main objective? The main objective is I want to accept 2 numbers and divide them and get the answer. That's the main objective. Now, what will be the output? The output will be the fact that we will let the person, what we want the person to see. Okay, so what is the thing you want the person to see? The answer after you have finished dividing, right? Another thing you want the person to see is to let the person see a message that enter maybe the first number, which is the numerator, then the next message, which will come and say enter the second number, which is the denominator. All these things are outputs that you expect the person to see. Okay. Then the input data will be what you are accepting from the person. Okay. So output data is always about what you want the person to see on the screen. Input data is what you want to accept from the person. And what are the things you'll be accepting from the person? The numbers. Okay. The numbers are what you'll be accepting from the person. Are we clear on this? Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. So with that said, and then lastly, the specification document, which is all these things that we have gathered about the objectives, the outputs and input data, the processing, all these things, we put it together and put it in the specification document. Okay. Okay. Good. So that is where we create all these things. Then the next step. So I gave examples here, which, as I said, I'll take time and then take you through. Okay. Okay. So we have the software development stage. That's the second stage. The second stage is where you start developing because you have gotten all the things you need to know about what the software will do, the things, the controls, okay, the functionalities, what will be the input, what will be the output, what will be the processing. You have gotten all these things. So when you get this, you then have to come and do like an informal design of or drawing of it. Just like when you are building a house, nobody starts building a house and starts building it. You have to have an architectural drawing of it. Okay, or a draftsman's drawing of it. So you see that before you build any house, there is a drawing that based on it, the house is built. Even after the drawing, people go further to even make a model using cardboard, okay, to make a miniature version of the house so that anybody who sees it will know that this is how the house or this is how the house will be. okay, before the actual building is done. So in the development stage is two stages: the design stage and the coding stage. The design is where a lot of people step, and that is the main part of this course. This course is to help you be able to do the step 1, which is the software specification, and also do the step 2, which is the program, the A part of the step 2, which is the program design. Please, are we here? The program design. The coding, you do it in second year, first semester. Okay, where you'll be using C++, Python, Java, .NET, C#, VB, all these things to do programming. Okay, so if you don't know how to do the design, it will be difficult for you to do the coding. Actually, not just difficult, you'll be making a lot of mistakes all the time. Okay, so that is it. Now let's go to the design. The design is where you actually write the step-by-step way that the instructions will be. You see, I told you a program is instructions. Okay, so when you take any instruction has an order. So for example, Michael, I want to instruct you on what you do tomorrow in terms of you come to the faculty office, you come and see me. After that, you go to the administrator and report to him on whatever we discussed. And after that, you go to the dean and submit the report. Now, you see, I've given you instructions on what to do. Eva, I'll get back to you, okay? I've seen your hand raised. Okay, so I'll let you ask your question, Rosie. So, you see, Michael, I gave you step-by-step instructions on what to do. Do you understand? So maybe the whole thing is that I want you to generate the list of your colleagues, okay? Yeah, their list. Have a list of them and all that. So I think you come to the faculty office, okay? Come and see me, 2. Come and after that see the administrator, okay, and generate the report with him. Then 4, go and see the dean and submit it. So you see, it's in an orderly process. Okay. So in the same way, when you are designing, you go step by step. You write a step by step instruction. Okay. And that one we call it an algorithm. An algorithm. Now I'm giving you a research fact. Go and find the origin of the word algorithm. Please, did you hear that? Everybody, go and find the origin of the word algorithm. Okay. Okay. And the first person to write an algorithm. The first person to write an algorithm. I'm giving you a teaser here. It was a female who wrote the first algorithm. We have a lot of algorithms, but I'm talking about computer algorithm. That's what I'm saying. Computer algorithm. So the first one to write a computer algorithm, okay, is a female. So that's a teaser. So you better find out. Read on the 2. Research on the 2. Okay, thank you very much. So this is what the design is all about. So you do a step-by-step instruction, and we call it algorithm. Now, if you put it in a form where it looks like a code, okay, then call it pseudocode. So algorithm is like you writing it in plain English. Like I'm saying that step 1, you move from here and go to this place and do that and do that. Step 2, if I'm writing it in a way like plain English, a descriptive way in plain English, then that's an algorithm. But if I put it in a way where it's like if I'm trying to write a code in a particular language like C++ or Java or whatever, okay, but it's not also any code. It's not actually any particular language's code. Then we call it pseudocode because I'm writing a false code. Pseudo means false. Okay, so pseudocode means false code. Are we okay? Okay, Eva, I'll pause here and then let you ask your question. Since your hand was raised.
So about the specification of programming, that area.
Yeah.
about the examples you gave, I guess if you want to create a website and then you have a part like enter your email, enter your phone number, your date of birth, just like the form.
Eva, hold on. Your session will cut. The session will cut right now. So you quickly log in and start your session again. Okay. Thank you.